What's up guys, Brian here from Audio Geek, and I'm back again with a seriously cool review for you guys. This week I'm super stoked guys, because what we have here is the Hidizs MY LIN. Now, to tell you guys why I'm stoked about this is when I just sent the brochure through and asked them, are you up for a review? I had a look at the brochure and I saw the eggshells, and I have over here the Hidizs MS2. So what I just did was they used the same shell with the MY LIN. We can call this a super upgrade of this or upgrade of this. But if you guys can remember from the MS2 review, it had these beautiful shiny shells. And then in the middle, to me, it felt like leather. I never, being honest, I never checked what the material is, but it looked like leather to me. And now they did something very special with the MY LIN, which we will get to in the look and build. I don't want to give away too much in the intro and not even in the unboxing, because it really is something special, guys. And I'm not trying to be upfrontly positive, because we still need to hear how this thing sounds. But like usual, the service from Hidizs, this thing took like a week to get to me right here in South Africa. I have to say, Hidizs is one of the companies with the fastest shipping to South Africa. I don't know how they do it, but it gets here fast. The MY LIN, they say it's a hybrid in-ear monitors. It's one dynamic driver, one balanced armature, and I can't wait to get into the unboxing here, guys. So let's hop on over. Okay, so the MY LIN came in this beautiful box. It's bigger than the usual packaging boxes. They went all out on the bigness, going big on this one. And there's a beautiful waifu girl on top here, flaunting her wings or whatever it is she's wearing. I'm really liking this, guys. At the back of the box, it's just the specs, and there's also a little anime girl there. Yeah, and just here on the front it says high-res audio. Nothing further to write home about, but I like the white box, the waifu girl. Everything's working here. Okay, so when we lift it up, this is a very, very nice surprise. I don't want to show you guys these ear shells immediately, so I'm just going to flash them quickly. But what we are getting here is you are getting the ear shells. We're getting 2 sets of different tips here, 3 each. And then we've also got tuning filters, which is very intriguing to me, because I actually liked the MS2 and it had a little bit, it lacked a bit in the bass department for me. So I told myself that if Hidizs could ever make an IM like the MS2 and just add a bit of bass, then it's going to become my daily carry. So I think we are definitely, if I see there's tuning nozzles here and I now listen to this and there's bass, then I think my current daily carry is going to have which is the CCA Phoenix, is going to have a bit of a problem. I can see that. So when we lift the thingy with all the ear tips and stuff out, this is very nice, guys. Check here, they even included a waifu. Now, I know another guy knocked me on the Facebook group, but I have a lot of these waifu girls, guys. They're sitting here on my desk, so I do not mind another one. I love waifu girls. And I just did a very, very nice one here for MY LIN. I'm definitely going to take it out and put it here in my collection. If you guys own any waifu girls, throw in the comments. Tell us what waifu girls you have, and maybe you have one that I don't have, and then I have to speak to the companies. That'll be very nice if we can establish like a list of all the waifus from all the brands. So yeah. If we check underneath this waifu girl, there is this beautiful, it looks like a cloth. Man, this is awesome. It looks like one of these cloths you clean your glasses with. So there's a MY LIN cleaning cloth And I have to say, I'm totally impressed now. Then we've got these standard Hidizs bags, which a lot of Hidizs IM ship with. I love these bags. I've gotten used to them, especially if you use something for a daily carry. If you store something on your desk, then I don't think these are cool. But if you're a guy like me, I always have a set of monitors with me, whether I'm at work, where I go. So I always use these Hidizs types when I'm on the move. So if we check inside, I see the cable is here. Oh, and it's a very, very nice looking, not too thin, not too thick cable, guys. And I see they've got the 4.4 millimeter balanced here, which is very, very cool. If I do use this for my daily carry, my cell phones are only 3.5 millimeters. I'm definitely going to fit a new cable, but that's just if I'm going to use it for my daily carry. If not, if I just use it around here, around the house with my DAPs and my desktop amplifiers and stuff like that, then I'm not going to change the cable, because otherwise I'm going to use the cable from the new MP145 Pro from Hidizs, because that's one is a cable that can switch between 4.5 and 3.5 millimeter. That's a seriously cool cable. Hidizs should think about selling that cable separately, because I'll buy one for the MY LIN too. Yeah. At the bottom of the box, guys, it's just your stand here. And then you've got your little booklet thingy that says quality and all that stuff. And then we've got our instruction manuals here. I don't think it's necessary for you to read instructions if you've got a guy like me telling you what this IM's about and how it works. So yeah, that is it for a very, very cool unboxing, guys. Let's hop on over to the look and build. If we check out the look and build, guys, and this is why I wanted to keep it like a little bit of a secret. I know my camera is always bad, but what happens is Hidizs took the shell of the MS2, and inside here now sits this beautiful, I don't know what to call it, but it's purple and it's blue. And it's very, but it's not shiny, like shining in your eyes. It's very subtle. And it makes it look like very, very expensive jewelry. I love the subtleness. When I first got the brochure, I thought it was just the Hidizs camera guys and the guys that's doing the marketing, that's playing clever tricks with the lighting and stuff, and that this is going to come in, it's just going to be normal white stones. But this purple and blue that's so subtle, blended in here with the black, I have to say that this, guys, is one of the most beautiful earphone shells I've ever seen. It can be a lot cheaper than high-end stuff. This is really one of the most beautiful IM shells I have ever seen. It's metal. You guys know I like metal, not only heavy metal music, but I do love and I do prefer metal shells to resin. I mean, everybody has got their things. For me, it's just always metal feels like quality. It's heavier. I've got big ears, so I don't mind heavy ear shells. I have to say the build quality on this is exquisite. You are going to get finger marks. That's a given. I don't care about that. Tuning nozzles comes loose easily. I have to say, all in all, guys, a very, very beautiful looking ear shell here. We can move over to the tips. Yeah, the normal tips, they're the normal silicone tips that you get with most sets, guys. It's not going to be anything out of the ordinary, like the Hidizs upgrade ear tips and stuff like that. It's your normal tips. I see there's tips here for balanced, and obviously there's tips here for base, which is very good, because then I'm going to use the base nozzles and I'm going to use these base tips. And if this is going to work out for me, I promise you guys, this is going to be my daily carry from now on. So I actually do have a 3.5 millimeter cable I can use with this if this becomes my daily carry. So you guys are gonna have to stay tuned till the end of the review to find out if this indeed happened. I actually described a lot about the cable, and now that I'm fiddling this book here, I see we've also got some cool MY LIN stickers here. So thanks, Hidizs. I think I'm going to put them up somewhere. I just don't want to be seen like a nerd or something. I'm an audio geek, not a nerd, you know. So I don't want to go stick stickers anywhere, but I'm sure I'm going to find some place for it. These bags, I did tell you guys now, for on the move, these are perfect. I've got this little man bag with my wallet and vapes and all that nonsense in. And normally inside there, when you open it up, there's always a pair of monitors, because a lot of times at work I'm sitting and listening to music, and these work really, really well. So imagine now if you had to take this case now, if you make the comparison, this is a lot better for traveling, especially if you're traveling in dangerous areas as well, where you don't want to act suspicious and show people you got like little jewelry boxes inside your backpack. This works extremely well. The cable, like I said, it's not thin, it's not thick. The only part I don't like is I see plastic here. I would have, where it plugs into the in-ear monitor, I would have liked it if this was metal. You guys know I prefer metal to resin or plastic or whatever. This side looks very, very well though. This one has got the 4.4 millimeter balance, and this is metal. I really like this. All in all, feels like a cool cable. What I really like, and this is for South African people only, this part here that's near to the ear shells, this is not braided. This is very, very good, because I found that braided cables in South Africa, they tend to go hard. You'll have the in-ear monitor for 3 months, you'll listen, the cable will be soft, and then after that the cable goes hard. I don't know if it's our climate here, if I'm storing the things wrong. I mean, I store mine normally in their carrying cases with a little sachet inside. I don't know if it's that, but for some reason in the South African climate the cables go hard. So I'm very, very glad that they didn't braid it here, and it's normally the braided ones. It's not the one that's unbraided. That's just a normal straight strip like this. They don't go hard that easily. But we will see. We will put this to the test and see. So yeah, guys, I think that's it for the look and build, and we can hop over to the connectivity. The connectivity is very straightforward on this one. I see I just went with a normal 2-pin connectors, and then also, like I said, I got mine in 4.4. You can also order it in 3.5. So it's a really straightforward option if you're going to use it. If you think you're using in-ear monitors more with your cell phone, more with your stuff that doesn't have a balanced port, then get the 3.5. If you're going to use this for your audiophile listening and you've got a DAP and you listen mainly on your DAP, then the 4.4 millimeter is going to make sense for you. So yeah, guys, let's check out the specs. When we check out the specs, guys, and also I think I need to mention this, it is marketed as a bit more low end, a bit more clean, punchy low end, a bit more warmer in the low end than the MS2, which I told you guys I think makes absolutely so much sense to me. It just went in the right direction, because the MS2 was already a very, very brilliant earphone. You can check out my review on it. Frequency response, I see it's 20 Hz, 40 kilohertz. The impedance is low, so this is going to be easy to drive, guys. It's a 17 ohm impedance and then 111 dBs sensitivity. So I think this thing is going to be very, very easy to drive. We'll see when we do the sound tests. I just want to check it, the driver's specs here. So it's a 10.2. Yeah, it's a hybrid. So it's one dynamic and one BA driver. It's a 10.2 millimeter dual magnetic circuit, dual cavity dynamic driver. And then the BA driver is a Hidizs silver core BA driver. There's also the N52 grade dual magnetic circuit. That's the crossover network. Yeah, man. Lower impedance with higher sensitivity. These things are going to go loud very quickly, which is cool for cell phones, which don't have a lot of output. Yeah, I'm very, very happy with that sensitivity at 111. All in all, this looks like a very, very good, not a V-shaped tuning, because I don't think there's going to be treble here. I'm going to have to check out the graph and see if there's going to be treble here. But if I can take a guess here, and the way I'm looking at the specs and I'm seeing a graph here now, I would say it's going to be a mild V-shape, guys. And I see now here they wrote a base-orientated hybrid IEM. So, guys, I'm very, very stoked. I don't want to carry on anymore with the specs. I want to start listening to this Hidizs MY LIN, and then I'll be back in a week, and I'm going to tell you guys if the sound exceeded our expectations or it was the biggest letdown ever. Stay tuned. And I am back with my sound impressions on this very beautiful Hidizs MY LIN, guys. I know this is the sound impressions and I've already done the look and build, but I have to say this is the most beautiful earphones I've ever held in my hand. They just got everything right with that design. But to get in the sound and actually to get into my story with Hidizs, because I have a lot of Hidizs products, so don't think I'm just biased towards them. You will see I am going to criticize them on this earphone as well, and they know me, that I'm an honest reviewer. I will give my honest opinion. So my story with Hidizs is actually quite interesting. I use a pair of resin Hidizs cheaper model. I use for I think it's the Galaxy or something like that. I use for my gym. I don't believe in Bluetooth earphones in the gym, so I have a little player, takes a memory card, and then I've got my Hidizs earphones. They fit is perfect for gym, so there I use it 3 times a week. Then the journey with Hidizs, they keep on bringing out banger after banger after banger. What I love about them is most of their products is metal shells. Now, you guys know me, you know my love for metal, so they already with their build quality, I love Hidizs. But my story with them, and you can see a few of their products over here, my story with them is quite interesting, because they brought out the MK10, and it's a metal shell. They say it looks like some kind of invertebrate or something like that, but to me it looks like an Iron Man mask. If only they could do that in red, it would look really cool as an Iron Man. So that was the coolest looking shell I've ever seen, and I just didn't give it bass. So it would have been the perfect daily carry if it had bass. Because it's heavy, you feel like you can drop it. Like resin earphones, I'm always scared if I drop this thing or step on it or something, it's going to break. But with metal, I don't have those fears. So then Hidizs went and brought out this one. This is the MS2 Pro. So the MY LIN is actually it's based on this one, but the MS2 Pro, as you can see, it's the same type of shell, but here in the middle, you'll see some orange. Now that's a leather type material. So this was very, very beautiful, and I really liked the design, but it didn't have bass. So I thought to myself, man, now we have again a very, very good candidate for a daily carry, and here Hidizs goes and doesn't give the thing bass. Well, I have some good news on this MY LIN, guys. Hidizs brought the bass. So if I have to sum it up for you guys, I have to say that Hidizs has actually fulfilled a big dream of mine, because I was dreaming of Hidizs bringing out an in-ear monitor that actually has bass. When I'm in my daily routines, I do not review in-ear monitors, so I'm not going to be requiring an analytical in-ear monitor. I'm going to require a musical in-ear monitor because I'm doing my chores, I'm working, and I'm doing stuff. So I don't want to focus on how does the music sound. I want an IEM there that's going to be a bit of an emotional IEM, a more musical IEM than technical. Unfortunately, you do have a trade-off with those two, you can either have a balanced one that's a bit technical and a bit musical, but you can never have the best of both. That's very, very difficult to get right in in-ear monitor tuning. So I just definitely tune it to be more musical. And also the bigger part, remember, us audiophiles, we're a niche market. The average guy in the street doesn't care two ticks about how the treble sounds. They want bass. So I'm going to tell you guys, overall summary, it's very, very musical. It's got bass. Hallelujah. Thank you, Hidizs, for this. And I have to say, we will see when I do my conclusion, guys, but definitely daily carry. I'm actually going to start a ranking. I had a few comments in one of my videos, and one of the guys asked me, am I going to start a ranking system? So I think I am actually going to do that, to show people what's in rotation, because with us reviewers, we get so many stuff that you never know, what are you using personally? You know, so I can maybe, because like reviewing is like advertising for a company. I mean, I can be reviewing any one of these, but it still won't be my favorite in-ear monitor. It won't be the one I carry with me all day. So, yeah. Overall sound impressions, Hidizs, well done with that bass, guys. I have to say, I listened the most with the black nozzles, that is the bass nozzles, and also with the bass ear tips. That's how I listen to it most of the time. It's the preferred sound for me on this because it's got that beautiful bass. That is the way I listen to it. If we do get into the bass, it's definitely one of the main characters here. Sub-bass, and we've seen set after set after set coming out from how many companies. Then it's either freaking neutral bright or a balanced bright or something bright. I don't know what's this obsession with bright tuned earphones. I don't know if it sounds more technical or what, if the other type of markets like bright tuning more. I mean, everybody has got their own prerogative, but me personally, I prefer bass, guys. So bass is the star here. There's heaps of it with those nozzles and with those tips. This thing is the perfect in-ear monitor for EDM. And why I say that, and you must listen if you're an electronic dance music fan. Most electronic dance music has very high treble as well as bass. But the thing with listening to music is as soon as you start turning the volume up and you've got a bright set, that treble is going to hurt your ear before the bass even reaches optimum level. So I like loud music. So if you have a bright IM, loud music's going to hurt your ears and it's going to be fatiguing. But if you have a set that still has treble, and we will see when we get into the treble, this set does have treble, but the treble is warm, then you're going to have the perfect in-ear monitor for EDM, because when your bass is at optimum level, the treble is not going to hurt your ears. Look, the bass is not the fastest, it's not the tightest, it's not the most surgical bass. It's enjoying bass. It's standing doing chores, maybe washing the dishes and jumping around to this EDM music in your ears. I'm telling you, the bass is that good. This in-ear monitor to me is one of the most enjoyable. I had one that I reviewed, and I have to go back, which was a very emotional IEM. Now, when an IEM is emotional, it takes you back, because as a reviewer, you've got your reviewing music, right? I know if I'm going to test bass, I'm going to go to Mezzanine, Massive Attack Mezzanine, I'm going to go there. If I'm going to evaluate the treble, I'm going to check out my jazz collection, I'm going to see other symbols. So I've got in title, I've got all my review playlist there, which I go and listen to different songs. But for my personal music enjoyment, what happens is you get so carried away in reviewing that you forget to listen to music and enjoy music, and this is where in-ear monitors like these come in. They just bring you back and say, hey man, reviewing is not just what it's all about. It's about the enjoyment of music. So it's a very, very enjoyable one, bass-wise, guys. This one is it. I'll even go as far and say that I love the bass on this MY LIN more than the more higher end MK Tourist. For some reason, I just love the bass here. It's sloppy. It's not sloppy like a cheap in-ear monitor. There is some control, but it's much more about enjoyment and listening to the music. So if we move on over to the mids now. For me, the mids, and I'm checking my notes here now, the mids sounded very smooth and natural and also quite intimate. The voices, look, remember we said it's not very technical, so you can pinpoint the voices in the mix. It is intimate. There's no boosted mids I could pick up. Like most sets, female vocals of Hidizs, female vocals sounded very impressively. There's enough clarity, emotion, but there's not that upper mid sharpness you sometimes get on sets. Male vocals, there was warmth, there was body, especially the deeper male vocals, and also what I picked up, this beautiful bass. There was not a lot of bleeding into the mids to like, you know, shift away the male vocals, because that's just after bass is the male vocals, and then we get to female vocals in the mid. So sometimes when you have some bleed, the male vocals gets affected first, and this is not the case at all here. Male vocals sounded beautiful. If we look at the instrument wise in the mid-range section, man, that sounded very natural. Guitars, pianos, acoustic tracks. It's also one of my favorite genres is acoustic tracks. Guitars sounded beautiful. I know it could sound a lot better if there's more emphasis on the mids, if I swap nozzles and silicone tips, but I prefer this thing for the bass. So I don't think ever in the future I'm going to be swapping tips. I have revealing sets that can do vocals. I have the Geeek Cloud, which to me is one of the best vocal IEMs out there. I've got the Ear Acoustic VSA, which is also to me one of the best vocal IEMs out there. So if I really want to get technical and get analytical music and stuff like that, then I'll definitely go to one of those sets. But for my personal musical enjoyment, the mids on this, I can't fault that. It's also one of the reasons I think MY LIN works well for longer listening sessions, because the mids is not aggressive. Man, they are smooth. Sometimes I like boosted mids. I'm such a weird character. Sometimes I sound like I contradict myself, but also my music mood changes throughout the year. I'll be back into my old rock, Pink Floyd, AC/DC, all that stuff. I'll get a month which I go through that and put on my Metallica t-shirt, and then just after that I'll prefer new music with all these new nice mixes coming out where they remixing all these old cool songs. I'm on that now. So if we check out the highs, the treble, like I said, is smooth and controlled. It's not a spicy treble that set. Thank you for that. After a plethora of spicy treble sets, this is not it. It also saves your ears. I prefer a warmer set, especially if you take hearing damage into consideration. And if you are like me, a guy who listens to loud music, guys, I listen to EDM music very, very loudly. It's like rock concert levels, club levels. I know it's bad for my ears, but I just enjoy it so much. Yeah, cymbals. When I went to my jazz collection, I didn't pay I have to be honest, I didn't pay a lot of attention to that, because I don't think this is the perfect IEM for jazz and for the audiophile stuff. I don't think it is that. This is a people's earphone, man. So I wasn't too analytical regarding the dies. All I didn't want was, I didn't want a bright set. Hidizs obliged. They didn't make this thing bright, but also they didn't make it blunt, guys. The treble is there, but it's just under that level of where it starts to become bright. So it's a really, really nice, warm, smooth, velvety treble, man. I know the treble heads would like a little more bite and sparkle, but for me, man, I respect this tuning from Hidizs. It's as if they made this IEM for me, and I think this is the first time I'm saying this on my review, so I have to go fact check myself. But it's the first time it feels to me like a company made an IEM especially for me, especially for my needs. As I told you guys, I've been looking for a daily carry with bass for a long time. And up until now, my workhorse and my daily driver is two different in-ear monitors, and I'll actually have to do a few quick hits regarding those and show people, because someone has actually asked me, what do I use, what do I personally use? So I think I must actually put a couple of videos out. I have a few sets in rotation that I use, but I'll save that for another review or quick hit short videos. If we check out the technicalities here, I looked at the graph, and you can clearly see the tuning direction that the MY LIN follows. It's a warm balance style. There is elevated bass, a smoother upper mids, and a very, very controlled treble. I have to say, guys, the treble is very, very well controlled on this one. Yeah, what this means is that the bass has obviously got more note weight than the neutral. Vocals is clear and close. Voices never sounded unnatural to me. So treble is present, but not sharp. The other thing that you can do, yes, I mean, I'm describing the sound, but I'm describing the sound out of a point of view of using the black nozzles and the bass ear tips the most. I mean, the sound signature changes the moment you switch a different nozzle and a different set of tips. If I look at the timbre, man, for a hybrid, this is very, very good. Hybrids struggle sometimes with getting the timbre right between the BA and the dynamic drivers. So the MY LIN kept things smooth and natural. I see I wrote here in my notes, smooth and natural. Is it perfect? Well, no. I don't think perfect timbre between different drivers. And if you look at big speakers as well, it's always difficult to timbre match things when you don't have the same driver. So, but overall, man, vocals, instruments, they sound believable. Nothing sounds fake. There was not one instrument that I heard that sounded fake. So that's a very, very big plus regarding the timbre. I think the warmer tuning helps here, as it gives the instrument just a bit of a more of a body. And this is also something that impressed me. So coming off of a few other sets I reviewed, it had a very thin sound, bright, thin sound. Then came the Hidizs MP145, and remember, I didn't have the MP145, the original. I had it sealed in a box, but I've never heard it before. And then the MP145 came, so Pro came. So I have the Pro and that one. Put them in my ears, and it does massive sound, guys. I mean, I'm not just talking about soundstage. The whole sound signature sounds massive. So what Hidizs did with the MY LIN, and I don't know how they got that right, but they got that big sound into the MY LIN as well, and the MY LIN is not planar drivers. So what Hidizs did was they managed to get that wall of sound. I call it a wall of sound. It reminds me of magnet planar speakers. I have Maggie's in my storage. So it sounded like a wall of sound. So what this MY LIN does is it also makes and I think it is the warmer tuning, but the instruments sounds big and bold, and that's where that bass comes in, that bass slam. It's so authoritative and hard. And I honestly don't know how they got this right, but the tuner at Hidizs, big up to you, man, for creating that big sound in a hybrid. That doesn't happen a lot. If I check the detail retrieval, it was good, but this is not, like I said, in the overall sound impressions. This is not the detail first IEM. This is not the technicalities first IEM. You can hear background details. There's vocal texture. What I picked up was a bit small reverb trails. I could even pick that up. So there is technicalities in there, guys. The instrument layers, that was really good. The thing about the MY LIN is it doesn't force details into your face at first. Some IEMs, they seem more detailed, but it's because they boost the treble, and then you think it's a massively detailed IEM, but it's not. It's just boosted treble. The MY LIN does not do that. Very, very good plus point there for me. The detail is there, but it is presented in a musical way, not in an analytical way at all. Yeah, when we get to the imaging and instrument separation, man, imaging is solid on this thing, guys. You can place the instruments very well. I also think it's because that big bottom end helps a bit there to place the instruments and make them sound a bit bigger and say, hey guys, here I am. Especially if you consider the warmer tuning, that technical part is not supposed to be there. So it seems like there's small little miracles in this MY LIN, guys, on very busy tracks, however. And remember, I said I can critique this IEM. That's the type of reviewer I am. I love Hidizs, but that's the type of reviewer I am. Very busy tracks. There's a little bit of going on there. It's not distortion, but it struggles a bit to keep up with on very busy track. But once again, this is not an audiophile earphone at all. This is a music lover's earphone, guys. So for normal music, movies, and I think even gaming, man, can you imagine explosions on this thing? I unfortunately did not test this for gaming, but I really think for gaming this will work as well, especially if there's a lot of explosions, shootings going on, and because there is a little bit of detail still, I think you will still be able to hear footsteps and all those stuff. So yeah, I see I wrote here cohesive. The overall presentation was very cohesive. Everything sounds connected, you know, not chopped apart. Soundstage, and I think I was a little bit spoiled here by my recent revelations about Soundstage and the MP145 and the MP145 Pro, because those things are Soundstage monsters. So I am a bit spoiled there, and everything else seems small to me. So the Soundstage is not as open sounding as the MP145, but it's got a nice soundstage, guys. It's a bit more intimate and closer to your head. It's not an out of body experience like the MP145. The width of the stage is decent. The depth for me was okay, but don't expect a open back earphone type of staging here, guys. This is not it. Now it's time for my final verdict, guys. I have to say, and I think you guys can, if you've watched the whole review or if you've watched part of it, I was very excited from the start by the overall look of this IEM. The look blew me away. If I have to take my Audio Geek checkboxes, everything I check. Is it a metal shell? Yes. Cable good? Yes. All the things I tick off. Is there tuning nozzles? Yes. Is there bass? Yes. So I decided to score this beautiful earphone and this perfect earphone for me. I decided to score it 4.8 out of 5. There was almost that American Idol or that thing, golden buzzer moment where I give it full marks, but I just slipped up in the design, because what they did was create this beautiful in-ear monitor, one of the most beautiful I've ever held in my hands. They make it metal, beautiful design. They make this thing sound perfect to what I require in a daily carry. Then they do the cable, and on the cable you will see, as you can see, this lid is still on it. I'm not using it with the MY LIN. On this cable, the termination port is metal. The Y splitter is metal. The in-ear monitor is metal. And then some clever designer at Hidizs decided to make the port that clips into your ears plastic. No, guys, this for me, it immediately lowers the value. Yeah, because I am unfortunately one of those guys that pay a lot of attention to aesthetics and how things look. So someone in the design team, you didn't think that one through, and it's costing you 0.2. You could have gotten a perfect score. So I'm not faulting this IEM on sound, guys. I'm not faulting it on looks. The only thing I can fault it on is this plastic connectors. As you can see, I am using it with another cable, and this one has got metal connectors, and look at how beautiful that all comes together, you know. So now you've got a beautiful, not cheap looking, unfortunately for me, that cable with the plastic connectors that plugs into the earphone, it's making it look cheap. Even if the plastic is shaped also in a nice little horn shape there, it should have been metal, guys. That's my only gripe with this. I have to say, I have been using it for 3 weeks, so this is my daily carry now. I use it, like I said, with the bass nozzles and with the bass tips. And I think I am going to start the ranking system. I'm going to rank it up there as daily carry, and we will have to see if there's another company that can bring out a challenger to challenge my Hidizs MY LIN daily carry. I have to say, guys, I'm very, very impressed with this. Just another Hidizs product that I'm using in an everyday part of my life. I think one of these days it's going to be just Hidizs products if Hidizs keeps on producing the kind of in-ear monitors that they are doing now. So I actually had a little quick insider what do they call these things, insider info, that Hidizs is busy with a pair of full-blown earphones, headphones, and I'm very, very interested in that, what's going to come out there. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching my review, and check you guys next time.